Three, two, one, we're good. So I want to welcome everyone to episode 4 of Brothers Vent 2. I want to thank everybody for hanging in with us so far. We've had some great topics, some great discussions, and we are ready to kick off this Friday with another topic and another discussion. But as always, we're going to introduce ourselves because we don't know who has been watching, who has not been watching. So I start off with myself. My name is Brandon Ward, also known as Cliff, located in Houston, Texas, and I work at a HBCU, if you can tell. So big up to all my HBCU graduates and enrollees so far. And I'm trying to make a difference in society and help our black men and black women out. And that's what I'm trying to do. Here. What you got, Crow?
What it do? This your boy Crowley all the way from the Jacktown. Definitely want to just say what up to the people who are first tuning in, to the people who have been tuning in. Much love to you all. And definitely want to say I've grown and learned some things from my fellow brothers and listening to you all who definitely respond back to the things that we talk about. Much love. E. E.
Oh, my bad. Oh, yeah. Once again, Mr. Controversy here. Mr. Don't care what nobody else got to say. I say what I want to. Yeah, all of that.
Yeah, this your boy T, man. Straight from La, Mississippi in Atlanta. Day job, I do IT work, so and the brothers let everybody know what you do, man, because we are a diverse group of people,
I'm almost studying on diverse.
CJB here in Atlanta, Georgia, by way of Edwards, Mississippi. Working financial planning, fintech,
take your phone
finance.
mute.
Say what? I'm on mute.
You, bro.
No, you good. Keep going.
Oh yeah, that was it. That was pretty much it. I was on mute.
No, we heard.
I can't nothing Corey saying. I can hear everybody.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Jay Ward, and I'm a theater teacher and actor and writer and poet, and I'm located in Shreveport, Louisiana. I'm here to bring the balance, the unbiased balance to all these brothers who tend to let their emotions get a little bit too revved up. But that's it.
By the way, I work in the mental health field. Definitely working with people, making it better, making it better from our community.
I guess I can tell my occupation. I guess I'm you guys got software engineer. I make apps, whatever.
I guess, but it's, if I can make a point on that, it's good to have different brothers from different backgrounds here. Myself in education, Corey in finance, Pro in mental health, ENT in software and technology, and Jay Ward and making up lives. It's pretty good that we have different brothers from different backgrounds, so we can give different perspectives on different topics. Because I mean, if we have different black men on here giving different perspectives, it really reaches the community, and hopefully we can give some good advice to our people, especially what's going on during this pandemic. And so we're gonna open this up. One of the apps that's really taking off is TikTok, and then you have different TV shows like Black AF, Blackish, Issa Rae with Insecure. We have a lot of black creatives out here really doing good work for the black community. But sometimes I see, we see on social media that we judge our black creatives hard. Like we take it to a point to where we pretty much don't even want to watch the show because we don't think that it's good representation for black people. So I'm gonna open up with the question of, just starting off with this first point. Are we too hard on our black creatives who are trying to do good for the community, make a name for themselves, employ other black creatives like Tyler Perry? He brought on a lot of people. Are we too hard on our black creatives? Do we not give them enough credit and giving them enough opportunity to, for the brand and reach more black people? What do y'all think about that? I'm gonna start it off with Jay Ward, because you are in that industry. So I'm gonna start it off with you. Are we too hard on our black creators? What do you think?
I think we are a bit too hard on our black creators, and I have a couple of reasons why. For one, when you're thinking about being a creative in this industry, you're kind of put in a situation where you have a choice to make. Do I want to make something that's going to make me a living, or do I want to make something that's like artistically gratifying? So it's almost like if you're a rapper, should I make a trap song with some auto tune so I can sell some records, or do I take the J Cole route and the goat, and do I take the J Cole route and really make some really good music, but my record sales make hits. Also, when you're thinking about being a black creative and setting that bar so high, our particular generation of people, we want everything combined in one. We want to laugh, cry, fall in love, all that type of stuff in one project, and that's not you can't really be creative and do that because we're not versed enough in something like theater or acting to
Or the
really
art.
appreciate a lot of times. And I'm from Lake Providence, Louisiana. We weren't going to see plays and barely going to see movies. So we're trying to adapt to those of us who've gone to college and stuff. Now that we have some more knowledge, we want all this stuff combined in one. And I'm gonna come back to it. But the last thing I want to say on this is that everything that you create as an artist is not going to be for every part of the African American culture. You cannot cater to every part of the African American culture with every project that you do. Some of the stuff that you do is going to cater to your ratchet people. Some of it is going to cater to your more hood people than your college people and all of that. So you have to make sure that you are trying to hit what you do. And I feel like as an artist, and I just made this decision recently, like as long as the people who I intended for enjoy it, then I've done my job as a creator because the people who I meant it for, they enjoy it. So that's how I feel on that.
That's good. That's good. I don't. I think that's what we try to do is we try to impress too many people. And if we don't hit everybody, we feel like we didn't reach all the masses. Steve, what you think? Because I know you were kind of in the industry as well. What do you think about us and being too critical of our black creators?
Yeah, man. I had watched Black AF on Netflix this week, and I really enjoyed it, man. And I shared it all on Facebook, and I was like, yeah, y'all need to check this out. And then maybe 4 days later, all the articles come out. Why do you like that? It's not the black experience. Ain't no black people, ain't no dark skinned people on the show.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, bruh, can we not just enjoy a show? Why?
Colorism does
One,
exist.
yeah, one, every movie or show that we have does not have to be educational, slavery. Sometimes we just need to exist. And we give other races, movies, a chance. Don't hate. Don't tweet about how much we hate it. And the movies don't just be about a garbage man finding love. But a black woman, a black like Insecure, we can't like Insecure because of this. We can't like Black AF because of this. We can't like Blackish, which I think Blackish is one of the best shows that we've had in the last 10 years, as far as topics and conversation. So I think we are too critical. I mean, I don't agree with everybody that's black. Like, I don't really like Tyler Perry writing as much, but I do like Tyler Perry the person.
Fair.
But I'm not gonna just talk down on his stuff. Like, if I don't like it, I keep moving. I just, what I'm saying? I don't talk about it. I don't tweet about it. I just keep moving. And I think that's our problem. Is like we put too much weight on people's shoulders to show black experience for the whole world. I ain't with it, bro.
And you made a good
Ooh, can
point. We'll count how many black people on a Game of Thrones or any of these other TV shows. We'd be happy to see one or two black people on these shows, but we get whole TV show with nothing but black people, but we find the most smallest, most minimal thing to complain about. T, I get your point, but you brought up colorism, and so do you think it's an issue with colorism on being on TV if you're not like
uh
like?
okay.
Go
So
ahead, dive into that point.
so I kind of want to piggyback off of both of T and Jay Ward's points. I agree with Jay Ward and like yes, it's very hard to please what we call the culture as far as like black people when it comes to black creators because you're always gonna fall under some sort of scrutiny as far as to what like your masterpiece you wanted to appeal to everybody, right? But at the same time, you still want to quote unquote keep it real with everybody. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's more difficult than what it seems like, right? Because like say for instance, Jordan Peele, who is a great director, shows great foreshadowing and foreboding instances, right, with his shadowing and his direction of light, right, that you've seen in like Get Out and Us and whatnot. But even though all of his stuff is like most of his stuff, he doesn't have any original material necessarily because Us is inspired from Twilight. And Candyman is going to be Candyman, of course. You know what I'm saying? All of his stuff is inspired from other movies or other TV series, right? Well, what I feel like Black, huh?
I wouldn't say everything, but keep going.
I mean, we only got what 3 movies?
Keep going.
But I'm just saying like everybody draws inspiration from somewhere, right?
Right.
And you can see the instances that he's used as far as like the influence or whatever, right? Through these episodes from the Twilight Zone, from other sci-fi networks and horror films and stuff like that, right? But what I'm saying is, I think that like T Hearns and Jay Ward both said, like you can't please everybody, right? Everybody's always going to want to put it under a microscope because everybody has their own they have their own definition of what Black representation is, right? And my personal opinion is that we need to get rid of that narrative of Black representation, because that is just to please, more so to be accepted with white America in a sense, right? We want to be like, okay, yeah, we can kind of hang with y'all, right? Instead of saying, okay, fuck y'all, we gonna do our own thing, more so, you know what I'm saying? Because we're still in that same instance where we're looking for representation because we're looking for acceptance. We want them to be like, okay, hey, yeah, your movie, your artwork or whatever, it's worth a Grammy nomination, it's worth a Pulitzer Prize or whatever, right? But in the same instance, we don't find that same self gratification into our work as the actual artist or the actual producer, right? We don't find it. We don't find the same. Oh man, I did that, and I know I did amazing, and can't nobody tell me different. We don't get the same instance out of
So
that.
let me ask you this: are we really looking for representation? Well, not representation, but for the kudos from white America or these other individuals, or are we just trying to create these creative art, and we're just reaching that door to where we've been accepted and being represented? Because Black representation is real. You think about what happened in Alabama with not Alabama, Oklahoma with the city bombings, and you think about this Black representation as a whole. We don't really see that many Black creators out there, and even with TikTok, you see Black creatives making TikTok dances that are going viral, but they don't get the credit for it. But soon as somebody that's not Black does the dance, they get 200, 300, 400,000 views.
But that's because Black people hype it up.
Say it again.
Black people, that's because Black people hype it up. Black people are
we can't get funded.
Right, our culture or whatever. Like when we see a white person dance or something like that, it's so shocking to us that like just see a white person have rhythm, we automatically like, dang, look at this person got one. It's like seeing like a albino dinosaur. That's how rare it is. But we hype it up to the point to where it's newsworthy. And once it gets to that point, but that's when all the media outlets come and latch on to it. And then that's when these other opportunities are presented for it, even though it's something we've been doing.
Go ahead, Jay Ward.
Right. But it's like, but like you were saying, it's just like when you have a running quarterback that's white. It's like, oh, he can run and throw. But we've had quarterbacks to do that for years. But because somebody of another culture does it, it's amazing. But anyway, it's hard for us to get funded. And, because we can't get funded, it makes us, even if you're not going to help us, because I see a lot of my creative friends and I've done it, we try to crowdsource to get things funded. A lot of people are like, oh, he's just always begging for money. And we'll share it. You can support by doing more than one thing. You don't have to give a dime to this podcast. You can share it, then you help to do your part. But we're quick to share things from other cultures. And then my best friend is he works for a university, and I've suggested, hey, why don't you try to reproduce one of Tyler Perry's plays? It doesn't have to be one that has Medea in it. You can just reproduce, Why Did I Get Married or something like that, just to get people in. Even though I have a degree in theater, when I first got to Jackson State, I had only seen maybe 3 plays, and that's something that I majored in. So at an HBCU, you may have half the population that's never seen a play. So you have to do something to get them in the door. And that's just like when, like a Tyler Perry, he had to use Medea as a means to get in the door. Now that he's in the door and he is the door, he can create whatever he wants. But the rest of us really can't do that. And I know with my own work, I wrote a church play that I wrote in 30 minutes, and it was my most successful play. And I'm like, y'all like that? It's predictable, but it made me money. So I'm like, I don't know what else to do, because my really deep stuff, I'm having trouble getting out there,
Well, I'm gonna go to Crow next, but Boy, you say you only saw 3 plays. Well, you are from Lake Providence. You only have like 3 or 4 stores, so that makes sense. But Crow,
2 stores.
Crow, you coming from that mental health aspect. Why are we so hard on our Black creators? We see us doing the TikTok dances. and if you even want to go to another avenue, you see the white Black Greek organization, or black white Greek members get more love and shine than the black members in Black Greek led organization. But
Sam White.
Not not to go down that road. Why are we so hard on our black creators?
Well, I only speak for myself and what I would possibly think. Um,
Oh, my bad. I about
You muted. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
can you repeat the question, sir? For our viewers out there.
Coming from that mental health aspect, why are we so hard on our black creators? Why do we want to see so many things from our black creators that we don't necessarily require out of these other individuals, other races? For example, we get excited when we see one or two black people in a Game of Thrones, or we get excited when we see one or two black individuals in other shows. But when it's a show like Blackish or Black AF, we are super critical. They're not doing this. They don't have enough dark skinned people. The topics that they're talking about really don't hit home, like so on and so forth. And then you see it on Twitter. We really downplaying these shows and these black creators. Why are we so hard on our black creators that we're not doing for other races?
Only thing I could think of is we are looking for them to depict our lives per se, like single us out. So when Tyler Perry make a film, you have some people who say that wasn't my grandmother, or my auntie didn't act like that, or my folks weren't that country, And so then that comes into that moment of, well, I don't like those type of movies, or then they stereotype Tyler Perry movies being this way. So then once you have those stereotypes going in, it's that to me, that's kind of hard to say why everybody is against a creative. On the mental aspect, I would just tell everybody to be true to themselves. And once your realness shines, like Jay Ward said, basically just do your art. And whoever you latch on to, or whoever latch on to your art, that's just who's rolling with you. One thing I liked about UGK, they understood who their audience. Pimp C said it all the time. My 500,000, they roll with us. They knew that they were gonna sell at least 500,000 units. You know what I'm saying? On top, that was their base, and everything else was extra. So know who you are first as a black creative. That way, when the hate does come spewing, whether it's from us or from whoever, you can roll with it and know that you're being true. You won't change for your audience trying to conform for others, and your art will shine through sooner or later. People didn't care for the J. Coles of the world or the Big Crits of the world, and look at them. When people say NWA wasn't gonna sell at all, but shit. So stay true to yourself. If you're true to who you are, your art will come through. And the haters, either they're gonna latch on or fall off.
Okay, good point. So I'm wrapping it up. Corey, do you want to make a final point before we move to this next topic? Because I know I left you out a lot of it. This next topic is going to be all you. But go ahead. You got anything you want to say?
Like I agree with most what everybody's saying, especially Jay Ward and T. I think we are critical of black creators, but at the same time, they have a responsibility to promote representation of black people and where it's going to be positive and it's going to make an impact for years to come. Like I think Tyler Perry is the most prominent black creator right is on the planet right now, but I feel like T said, I don't really care for some of his work because I feel like most of his movies or plays, the tall, dark black man is either a homosexual who's acting like he's straight, he's a domestic abuser, or he's not a positive figure. So it's like, damn, like show us good. I know his audience is women, and I understand that. And you gotta do what you can to make your money, but at the same time, I feel like don't show us in a negative light all the time.
Right.
That's my only problem.
Good point.
That's an interesting point.
So to wrap,
And
go ahead.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I
Go
was
ahead.
just gonna point out, like colorism exists. There's also, a huge elephant in the room. Like when you watch a lot of black films or even a Lifetime movie or a Hallmark movie, there are never any big people in those movies at all. And if they are, they're comedic relief. So not only do you have to, there are stereotypes being perpetrated, you also are showing that regular sized people, can't find love or, they don't end up with a happy ending. So it's almost like, that's something else that we as artists, I think we need to attend to, because I know I can't speak for everyone's family, but I know I have large black women in my family. Not all of the women in my family are large, but I mean, and they're some of the most beautiful women in the world. So, and we'll pick back up on that later, but I just definitely feel like we need to be represented. I'm not a small person. I weigh 275 pounds. So, and I'm like,
That's 275.
you trying to say it's over?
How tall
You
are
trying
you,
to say it's
son?
over?
How tall are you, son?
I'm
Go
6
ahead.
feet. So I'm 6 feet. I'm 6 feet. I go about 275. So I mean, and that's not fat. I'm just a big old dude. So I mean, I think people like me deserve to be represented on camera too, instead of the 6'2" dude that got an 8-pack, and look like he
Whoa,
came straight
whoa,
out of a
whoa.
magazine.
Kind of like me.
I know
Don't hate
you,
on 6'2".
Shirley, I know you slim and got abs and stuff. I ain't hating.
But to wrap it up, we gotta move on because we had 20 minutes already.
Crowley got abs from '85.
We need to really reevaluate how we treat our black creators. We need to be a little bit more open and try to support them, even if it's just sharing their work. At the end of the day, they are black creators trying to make a lane for everybody else. So let's be a little bit less critical, or we can still be critical, but let it be progressive and positive, and try to get them to a point where they can be, open the door for other black creators. This will open the door for everybody else. I think that's where we need to get the point to. And with that being said, we're gonna move on to the next point. T, do you have anything to say for you switch out? God, dog.
That nigga internet stay fucking up.
The internet trash.
Hey, he got
Comcast.
Eddie Riley internet. I keep telling you.
Skit.
Eddie
Gang.
Riley.
Before we go to the
What
next topic, Preston
What up
said
with the
yeah,
skit?
we are kind of hard on our black creatives. Alex said we are judgmental as a people. That is true. We are judgmental.
DJ Dean. Gang.
And, rest in peace, MC.
Ladies' night.
Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, we talking about Alex. My
This
bad.
is reproach. Reproach.
Let me mute. You stay getting muted. Mute. Moving on.
What were you saying, Swift?
No, I was saying we are really critical on our black creators, and we should just try to support them so they can open the door for other black creators, so we can make that lane for ourselves, so we don't have to try to beg for a Grammy or an Oscar or whatever. So maybe we can make our own awards and go from there. But moving on to the next one, because I think this one is very important, very, very, very important. We are currently in a pandemic. People have lost jobs. There is absolutely no income coming in whatsoever for a lot of people. If you remember, a video on Twitter, social media went viral. One of the check cashing places took the $1,200 stimulus check from a lot of black people, and they were not able to receive those funds. And I think it's critical that we really reevaluate and try to understand finances so we can better take on these situations, so we're better prepared. So I want to open it up to how are we handling our finances during this pandemic, and what should we do during these times, especially with a $1,200 check? Should it go to jail? Should it go to alcohol? Should we put it away for bills, so on and so forth? Like, how should we as black men and black women? Exactly, E. That's why you broke now. But how is we as black men and black women handle what we're going through now as far as finances and our stimulus check? But before we go
Broke
there,
and happy.
get to introduce himself and open it up for us.
Good evening. My name is Ken. Yeah. But with that being said, I think we should get ahead during these times right now. We ain't got nothing else to do. Trying to get your grind on, pay off some bills, catch up on others. With a lot of mortgage companies, credit card companies, and otherwise, suspended payments, even school loans. Now's the time to actually catch up on some serious bills that you probably had and get your credit straight. That's the way I'm viewing this year. It's also a period of time where, if you got a job, you're still getting a check, get you another job, or find some type of virtual income. I think really there's a lot of income virtually. on the internet, and I think we should definitely tap into those. Like this period of time right here is preparing us for times ahead. They're gonna be like this. And so, I mean, look at it as say the writing on the wall. If you not up on it, if you're not getting your skills together now, if you can't cook, learn how to cook. If you can't do this, learn how to do that. I mean, we're quarantined at the house. We might as well not just be scrolling through our phones, social media. We might as well be picking up. You can Google anything. So, I mean, just get your skills up, get you another hustle, and get with the technology that's going on right now.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna take it to my boy CJB because I know you in the finance industry. We're gonna go to you next. I know you got a lot to say. We've seen our people spend money on some stuff. I ain't gonna say if it's positive or negative. Let's say some stuff. We spending our money. We buying bottles. I ain't gonna lie. I spend about a couple $100 on some bottles, but I put the rest in the savings. What
That's
should
cool.
we African Americans do right now? Because we losing jobs. We on unemployment. Sometimes unemployment checks not going through. You see small business association ran out of money giving it out small business. What should we do right now as Black people during this pandemic to make sure our finances straight right now and moving forward in the future?
Like it's two ways to look at that. Like for one, don't follow the predatory finance companies. Like those tax companies will how they intercepted those people's stimulus check because they filed their taxes with them in 2018. So when they filed their taxes, the government sent them their refund and they sent it out to the people who filed. That shit is illegal. You can't do that. But I'm pretty sure you can tell those in the hood. So I think the people in that particular area didn't have the knowledge to really understand what they were doing. They were just trying to get their tax money as fast as possible. So that's pretty much how they fell victim to that. But secondly, for the people that's fortunate enough to get the $1,200 stimulus check, take $200 of that 1,200 and splurge on yourself. Buy whether you buying a bottle, a pair of shoes. There's nothing wrong with that because you need to satisfy their spending urge. Secondly, you take their remaining $1,000 and use it to pay off some debt. So when you pay off all your debt, you're going to free up money from your main source of income. So it's only going to help you out for the long term. Now, don't have any debt, you should use that money to send it towards your savings account so you can build up an emergency fund. Just like we see how it is now, a lot of people, if they lose their job, they're not prepared to cover their bills for 2 months. You should have at least 3 months of your bills saved up in a savings account prepared for something like this. Because like everybody's not fortunate enough to be able to work from home. Some people really lost their jobs. So you have to really do what you can to prepare. But you can't really save up money until you pay off debt, whether that's credit card debt, small loans here or there. You have to get that off your books. You have to get it under control.
But I got a quick question because you said something that sparked interest. You said that these, our African American people, our people, our friends, cousins, so on and so forth, they go to these predatory lending places and use them to file their tax and get their tax refund check 2, 3, 4 days earlier. What should they do to make sure that this situation does not happen again? Because we don't have enough money. I'm not going to say we. Sometimes they don't have the money to open a bank account or they don't have the credit and so on and so forth. So what other options do these people have? They go to these predatory loan places to get their check earlier to make sure that they don't end up in this situation again where their loan place takes their tax refund.
I think a lot of that is on our ongoing. I don't think it's necessarily all our fault because those companies market that what they really do, they really loan you out the money that you're anticipating on your tax refund, and they charge you a penalty on that, and then some. So you have to be patient and wait until the IRS process your tax refund so you can get it. Like if you pay attention to your environment, those check cashing places, those tower loan places, those more money taxes, they're only in predominantly black areas.
Yeah.
So they prey on the people in the area.
They
So
represent the unbanked,
exactly.
the unbanked economy of Black people.
And
That's what they
mostly
represent.
some black people don't believe in getting banks. It's like all you really need is $10 to open a bank account in some places. The black banks even begging for people to bank with them. They even waive in monthly fees where you don't have to have a direct deposit coming in every month. So half of that is us making bad decisions, but also half of that is our own doing. Like we have to be patient. You can't rush and get your money. You got to let them process it. So somebody be like, okay, they'll be like, we'll get your refund the same day. They're basically giving you your money and you got to pay that back plus some.
Mm-hmm.
So you really have to be patient and wait until your tax refund done by a legitimate person, where you're gonna pay about maybe 100, maybe $200, but it's gonna be legitimate. So you got to be patient. Like I think we have the urge to want something now, and when we want something now, we make those impulsive decisions that's gonna set us back a while.
Chime in for me, because you said the unbanked. So speak a little bit more about that. How can we go
Mm.
from the unbanked to making better
First,
financial decisions?
first, let me take a step back, but I'm still gonna answer your question in the same sentence, right?
Okay.
The problem with us is number one, we don't read, bro. That I'm gonna keep it a buck. We don't read, we don't research. And that's led us to in finances, that's led us to the problem that we are in now. Because if we take the same amount of time that we take in like love and hip hop, Bad Girls Club, whatever else is on social media, but to learn about your actual financial situation, you can come out of that. You know what I'm saying? You need to learn how the banks works, right? You need to learn how the bank makes money, right? You should know the difference between filing with these fly by night check cashing places that charge you this crazy amount of interest on a loan against your taxes that you have overpaid and quote unquote earned, if you want to get technical with it. You know what I'm saying? The return that you are entitled to, but they're taking a piece of it because you're too lazy to actually sit down, learn how the process works, and write down and file them out yourself, right? Because it's nothing but simple math. It's regular math. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, as far as like what to put in what checkbox, how to fill out the 1099, all of that. You can take that same amount of time that you put into social media and these other BS that you see on TV and learn how to take control of your finances. Now, is it 100% black people's fault? No. I won't put that all on black people. But the problem is like when you hear about it, it goes in one ear and out the other. Because they're not worried about it. They too worried about keeping up with the Joneses because it's about their status. You know what I'm saying? It's about their status. Like, okay, yeah, I got my stimulus check, man. I'm about to go get fresh. You know what I'm saying?
That
But
drip.
yeah, you gotta get right. What they call it? The drip now? The
But
drip.
That
Yeah.
drip.
You gotta
but
get that drip.
like E said, I think that it's just a lot of stuff as far as black people and banks really goes back to the early 1900s during the civil rights era because back then black people wanted to bank with banks, but they wouldn't accept us. So I think a lot of that
Mm-hmm.
kind of started resonated in there. But it just sometimes we have to get out of our own way. Like I
That's a
think
fact.
a lot of people made a lot of dumb decisions because they were uneducated and their parents was uneducated, so they passed those habits down to them. And it's not their fault. It's just the environment they was brought up in. But
Well,
it's like you
But
have to
Corey,
like so what
let
so
me
it,
speak.
Now go ahead.
I said kind of let me speak up on what you were saying on that as far as parents and coming back in the day. So you have to think about that. Our parents, our grandparents, basically, they were basically trying to get enough education to get out on their own to at least read, write, and to be able to maneuver. So then they taught our parents per se how to survive. Our parents, only you get what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
I'm gonna disagree on that. I'm gonna disagree on that.
it was more so survival versus thriving. Now we are the generation that's trying to, learn how to thrive versus survive. Because back then, you had to think about your life on one hand from segregation, whether you was getting your education. You got to think about the Wall Street bombing. You know, that was more so surviving. Not you didn't have a chance to thrive. You were hoping to get that opportunity.
Oh, they were striving. They were thriving.
But yeah, because it was
They
more
were-
black businessmen back then. It was more black owned grocery stores. It was more black owned post offices back then, and
So did they?
that type of
All
mentality
right.
just got
So
now
have they?
now
Did they thrive up until now? That's all I'm saying. They were trying
what
to
I'm saying.
survive. You.
Okay, but what I'm saying is right up until events like Black Wall Street bombing, right? Or when you start, if you're a business owner, right, and you start seeing the black leaders that you look up to start getting murdered legally in the streets every day, right, such as the Black Panthers, such as the Black Wall Street bombing, Medgar Evers, and the list goes on, right, you're going to start to lose your morale, right, as a black entrepreneur. So at that instance, right, you're gonna be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna take this little quick payout from the government. I'm gonna sell my property, right? And that's when these other races, such as like the people from Middle East, right? Because everybody that's if you go into a predominant black neighborhood, right, you will see a store of some type that is owned by somebody from the Middle East
That,
every time.
that's
Because the black dollar doesn't exist longer than 24 hours anymore.
I can't say that. That's only because black
And now I
people.
will give you that. Yeah, we were
That's
quick to go
true.
through that.
But black people don't have the capital to start those businesses. Also, we don't get access to the capital to start those businesses. So I can't really say that it's a reason why the black dollar don't circulate 4 or
That's
5.
because of redlining. Redlining.
No, redlining is more so how the housing is set up.
Housing, housing, yeah,
But
that's
they also translate into commercial space, right?
Yeah,
Which is where the stores are, right?
yeah,
With those
that's
strip
true.
malls.
But the only reason why you don't see like a lot of black people having businesses and when we was coming up because we didn't have the capital. I think there was a lot of people that wanted that, but they didn't have the access to those small business loans from banks.
This is
It
what I'm
was
gonna
for
challenge
that.
you at right here, right? How many black people got barbershops?
A lot of black people that got barbershops. But hold on,
Right.
yeah.
it's
I
Okay.
know
cheaper,
black
it's
owners,
cheaper to
definitely.
open a barbershop than it is to own a convenience store and operate a convenience store.
That
Like
is a fact.
when you own a
That is a fact.
barbershop, all you need is the space and you're gonna rent out rooms. All
Mhm.
right, when you own a convenience store, you gotta have your suppliers for your gasoline, for your sodas, for your candy, for your chips, for your food. It's a lot more work and
That's if you decide that right. That's if you decide to sell those products, which is by
So let me ask
contract,
you
of
guys
course.
this: what about group investors? So let's
Right.
say you
So.
got us 6 guys
Mhm.
and pooling money together and investing,
I
Mhm.
especially
think
during the time.
that's the way that we have to go, but the investors have to also know they have to be in it for the long haul and not the short haul. The thing about investing, black people think that they're going to see a quick return on the money they're investing. That's not true.
Mhm.
You're not going to see a true return on your investment to at least 3 to 5 years to after you made that investment.
Facts.
So
So
Because
hold on, we're gonna wrap it up because we got two more topics to get
I
through.
was about to use old boy like right. Remember what's cuz name? They had them fire ass JSU shirts a couple
We
years
don't
ago.
we
But
don't
was
worry about it.
charging 50, 45 to $50 for these shirts. I'm like, bro, like you just came out. You have no established brand, no reviews on you. Like nobody knows who you are. Don't get me wrong. We like the shirts, but like, bro, you putting this on a Gildan t-shirt
yeah,
and
that's
saying
the
it's JSU
thing.
project.
Now,
You call it,
if
but you use a JSU name, right?
if
But you not understanding your price margins because you too
yeah,
busy trying to make the profit. But
yeah.
you're killing the average consumer because we can't support you. I'm not about to buy for no $45 shirt from you when Nike is $45. Nike been around for forever.
If
So
it's
why should I give my money to you? Why should I give my $45 to you just because you black?
it depends.
No,
If it's legitimate quality, then cool, I don't have no problem with the price point. I can't tell nobody that I set their price, long as it's quality. If it's some shit that I'm aware And if I watch it one time and I don't recognize it no more, then I'll be pissed. But T can more so speak on that more than me. But I feel like you can't really tell anybody to set their price, but the price of your product has to align with each other.
It's got to align with your brand, first
That
of all.
too.
Hold on.
First and foremost. I'm
Because
sorry.
Jay Ward hadn't talked on this topic.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Let me unmute Jay Ward so he can talk. I saw his hand raised. So
Yeah, just real quick, I'm gonna just say, a lot of the stuff that you're talking about, I think it might go over somebody's head if you're the type of person who doesn't know what to want out of life. If I'm coming from a underprivileged situation, to me, making it means I got a car, I got foes on it, I'm
Yeah.
successful. So we don't know. A lot of us don't know what to want. So we have to start young with our people to let them know what is success, what to want, because
Building
as
wealth.
long as you got your own apartment, you got your own car, I'm successful. So I mean, a lot of people, a lot of times they don't really, know what to want. And I see this all the time with the students that I work with, and they don't know what's more. They don't know that I need to be an owner. They don't know that I should strive to be the business owner. And like E was saying, that speaks back to what we were saying about Black creatives. Should I support your business just because you're Black, or should I support your business because it's actually worth it? So a lot of times we're kind of going in circles like, well, I ain't paying that much. I'm not gonna pay $41 for a shirt from you, but I'll pay $39 for the person from Nike, not realizing that our overhead is more because we're a small business. So I think we have to be able to cut our people slack in that area and go ahead on and throw them those extra dollars to help them get to the point where they can bring the prices down in order to be able.
I
Those
disagree.
people trying
I
to make a
disagree.
living. They trying to make a living.
we're gonna stop right here because I know E ready to go back in, and we
Bro.
longer left, so we're gonna
Get T his last point. Get T his point.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
go ahead. E.
T,
No,
T, not E. T,
T,
not E. Tell me.
T,
Go ahead, E, what you got to
T
say?
on mute, bro. Unmute him, bro.
unmute T, Swift.
Free T Hearns.
Man, I've been telling Swift to unmute me for 5 minutes, man.
You only been on for 3 minutes. Go ahead, say what you got to say so I can get these comments.
They
Listen,
got the Hana Blue
One.
hat.
old boy that had the Jackson State shirts, they are not the Jew State shirts. You feel me? It's only one Jew State shirt, man. You know what I'm saying?
You gang.
But I do agree that we got to actually give that quality, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we try to take shortcuts and don't give that best quality, and then we charge an astronomical price, and that just ain't gonna work, man. You know what I'm saying? But again, like I think Jay Ward said, we do have a crazy overhead that we do have to account for. So I mean, it's kind of hard. It's hard for people that's in the vendor.
Haynes and Walmart make more money than anybody.
Exactly. But if you want to shop with your boy, hustlehardcampaign.com.
Okay,
Get you a Juice State shirt.
Plug. We put a pen down on the bottom of the screen. Plug.
Yeah.
Hey, pin that bitch.
I'm
Pin
back.
that bitch.
But I'm gonna get to these comments.
They freed me.
So Michael Braxton said he been doing his own tech since 2005. Best way to do it if you can handle it. It might be true. If you can do it, you can do it.
Do what now?
He said financial literacy is not taught in schools, and it is never going to be taught in schools. That goes back to our topic last week: Black men being in your family
I
life.
agree.
You gotta teach your child what financial literacy look like and how to best manage their finances in the future. They're not going to teach that in schools, not unless you go to a charter school. But that's not.
It don't matter if you're a black man or a black
Shut up,
woman.
E. Jasmine Burke said yes. Okay. Michael Braxton said we thrived up in desegregation in the Civil Rights Bill of 1964. After that, we ran into white merchants and left ours behind the falter. The Malcolm X versus Martin Luther King discussion.
That's true.
We're getting to another time.
Desegregation fucked us up, but
that's another topic for another time. He said, then when black stores faltered, a vacuum was created in the field by immigrant class. It is also correct. Immigrants coming over here and getting these stores with no tax.
They whole family. All they do is rotate family members out and keep getting the tax free.
Yep. That's pretty good.
And that shit be nasty. The quality be nasty. That gas be cheap. And
that's another day.
Keep it moving.
Why y'all the stove be musty?
Shut up. And the last
stove be so musty.
You pay Nike $45, but not a black entrepreneur.
It depends
on
the price.
If you haven't built up, if you have not built,
hold on, go ahead,
built up that brand, you can't charge that, bro.
Go ahead.
You have no reputation, no record. What are your books looking like? You have no reason to charge that.
Go ahead, Corey.
I'm willing to spend extra money to just because it's a black person. I don't have no problem with that. My problem is the longevity of what I'm buying. If I buy this shirt one time and I wash it and the shit is unrecognizable, it's a waste of my fucking money. That's my problem. So I don't have no problem spending money with black people. But if you're going to
Like
put the price of your product,
you give it a chance. That's my only thing. Don't judge it when he tell you 50 some odd dollars or whatever, and go ahead and buy it before you even say, man, that product gonna be trash or something. Just buy it.
So then we're quick to bash the black person for that product.
Okay, so we spent a lot of time on this topic, so we're gonna wrap it up with that one. That's our last point for this one. What it really comes down to is do what's best for your family, make best decisions, and actually talk to people who are educated in financial literacy before you start making these decisions to go to these predatory lending places. Try to get someone to do your taxes for you. No, Core, we're not. No. Do what you got to do to make these decisions for you and your family. Don't be lazy and try to get something 4 or 5 days in advance, but you can wait a couple more days and get it when it's supposed to come from the federal government.
One more plug. Do not spend your money on these credit repair people. You can do all that shit yourself.
Yes.
Save
repair my credit. Well, I did it myself.
Do that shit yourself.
All right. So we're gonna switch out T for this last topic with Skit. Well, not this last topic, this third topic with Skit. T, we're gonna come back to you.
Let me back in my camera. My shit fucking up.
So this. Where'd he go?
It says camera's messing up.
Okay.
Put T back in. Put T back in.
Right now, he coming back. So this third topic, this one gonna get a little heated. Y'all know we got preferences as black men.
I don't.
Be quiet, bro. Let me be quiet. Y'all know we got preferences as black men. Sometimes we like big chicks. Sometimes we like skinny chicks. It is. Sometimes we like BB. I mean, it just depends on what you like. But sometimes that's frowned upon. Like it's really frowned upon. But I'm gonna get into the debate. What do you really?
I look at Jay. I looked at Jay Ward and bust out laugh. My bad.
So I'm gonna get into it.
Let's go.
What do you prefer? And don't hold nothing back. Do you prefer the thick chicks? Do you prefer the skinny chicks?
Can I open up for you?
Frowned upon to prefer one or the other one. We, women can prefer whatever they want to. It's not frowned upon. What do you like? And Jay, well, I already know what you like.
No, start with Crawley.
I'm gonna go ahead and start it off for y'all, fellas, because I know y'all picky, man. I'm gonna be honest. God created a woman because she's a work of art. Period. Whether big, small, skinny, tall, she's a work of art. Now, what it come down to is, do you like her personality and stuff like that? So, Crowley, IBB King, I love all my queens out there. I love all y'all.
I love all of them, huh? So it don't matter.
Ain't no preference.
Don't matter.
Don't matter. I didn't dated them. I didn't dated them 6 feet like me. I didn't dated them 5 feet close to a midget height. I didn't dated them wide, big. I didn't dated them skinny. Hey.
Skid, I see your face. I'm going to you.
I knew when he started talking. Huh?
I see your face.
You know what I mean? While y'all judging, my thing is while y'all judging, I'm gonna come and scoop up the ones that y'all turning back.
No judgment, bro. No judgment, bro.
Because I love them.
Ain't nobody judging.
I love all women.
All right, so I mean, this is where I didn't know this was the topic for real. Like, I'm an intellectual person. I'm attracted to. I'm a cerebral person, so I'm attracted to intellectualism. So, I'm a country boy too. So I'm glad this is thick versus skinny women. You know, you was toting the line right there, Swift. All right, I'm a country boy, so I lean toward the thick side. You know, but moderation, everything in moderation. You know, but it really don't matter your color, it matter your creed. You know, I'm a spiritual person too, so I mean, but as far as thick versus skinny, I don't
Yeah,
really have a
I think
preference.
those
I
are
don't
skinny.
really have a preference. You know, as long as you're intellectual, you're spiritually grounded, and you're attracted to me, then we can talk.
That's
But
Skinny, you know,
I'm
eHarmony and shit.
attracted to you.
I think
Listen,
that comes with maturity. I do think that comes with maturity, though. Like, I'm a little bit older now. I've gone through my phases, and there's quirks to everybody and everything. But I think a little bit come with maturity. I think the younger bros, they might have some specific, sizes that they interested in. But the older you get, start having kids, you meet very attractive people that are shaped different ways.
listen,
You get past that.
So we
listen to me.
all. So I'm about to come to you. We all
Right.
Southern. We all country. Mississippi thick is a different type of thick. If you see them thick chicks from the Delta, oh my God, like like no surgery, no nothing. They just eat neck bones. They eating greens. They just
Don't do my
Listen,
skinny. All
Come on,
of
man.
them.
Swift,
Mississippi,
all right. So
you're missing one
Texas,
critical point.
Georgia.
be quiet, Corey. I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you. E.
Listen,
Thick
bro.
versus skinny. Talk to me.
Listen, bro. Listen.
You from both.
If that meat get up, it's up. Straight up. I don't care what size it is.
Oh,
It
dang.
don't matter. If
Oh,
the
dang,
meat get up,
dude.
it's up. I'm using it. That's how it should be, though, for real. Because think about it, bro. Think about it. Your meat won't get hard if you ain't attracted to it, regardless. Somebody's right. You mean to tell me you gonna let a big girl get your meat hard and you not gonna use it?
But you said your meat not gonna get on hard. It's not attractive. If you in the club drunk, your meat gonna get hard just from touch somebody. So what you mean?
Shit, might as well use it. Fuck you mean? What you waiting on? You on limited supply, goddamn it. It's not a sensu bean, my nigga. This is not some shit you come back and be like, oh yeah, well,
Wow.
get hard
What
up, then let me go use that one.
Swift,
No, my nigga, you gotta use it while you got
can
it.
I say something, Swift?
Hold on. No. I'm gonna stay on you right.
You ain't had good sex until you had a big girl. You don't
Let
know.
me listen. I ain't know
You
we
ain't had
talking
good
about
mouth.
the
You
straight
ain't had good
having
mouth until
sex.
you had it from a big girl.
Hold on, Skid. E, you said you ain't had sex or mouth until you had it from a big girl.
Factuals. Hey, this is me with a straight face. You see everybody else that's taking the drink? You see why everybody else taking the drink? It's because they had sex with a big girl too. That's a fact, bro.
But E, would you date that big girl?
Now you got something to compare to, right? So when them skinny chicks don't be,
Hey, that's a good question that Ken asked, though. That's a good question that Ken asked.
But think about this though. People finna get mad what I'm about to say. I don't care. Everybody be saying like, oh yeah, I don't fuck with number bad bitches, or skinny chicks or chicks that's in shape, right? What their baby mama look like?
Hold on. Skip said it.
I'm just keeping it a buck.
Be quiet. Skip, ask your question again.
And would you date that same big girl? Like, would you take out on dates? Would you wifey her? Would you try to make her your wife though? Like, there's a distinction between like date somebody, like hopefully trying to be in a relationship with them, and just pulling out your meat if your meat get hard. You know what I'm talking about? So like, my question is like, I mean, yeah, most men like, we didn't care if your toenails did, but I mean, as far as dating goes, like everybody has their own little picks and chooses though.
That's true.
You get fed, don't you?
So what he's saying is,
if you date a big girl, bro, you got 50% more chance of getting fed than dating a skinny chick. Right or wrong?
I don't know what it is.
I'm not putting myself out there. Hold on, but I will say my fair share of skinny and thick, both cook and clean. You know what I'm saying? They're just on the female, G. They're just on some real stuff.
But to that point, them thick Mississippi chicks
Hold on, stop just saying Mississippi because I didn't had them. Well, I've dated women
Of the plus
let me
size character.
Man,
to
listen,
the West. So don't just show
But
love across.
to E point, what E's saying is she got that mouth, she got that wet, and after y'all get done, she gonna cook for you. You gonna be fed.
Wait a minute.
Ooh,
What
Jay Ward,
y'all define as a big girl, as a thick chick?
Jay
She
Ward,
gonna get up and cook.
I was going to say that too. What are you defining as? What are you defining as big? What are you defining as thick? Again, back to what I was saying earlier about size. I'm a big person, so to me, you got to be, before I consider you to be big, I'm thinking 325 and up. And I know they may disagree, but I'm a big old dude, so I mean, you got to be offensive lineman size for me to consider you to be big. And other than that, you just thick.
Swill, why you look like that? Swill, why you look like that towards that man?
325, Jay Ward, 325.
Hey,
Bro, she halfway to 600 pounds.
I'm not.
If I can bench you, you ain't big.
Hold on.
You gonna bench you ain't big.
Y'all be quiet. Y'all be quiet.
She got two
If I
arms
can
up
bench
on
you,
the
you ain't big.
We not, hold on. Y'all be quiet. Y'all be quiet. Yeah. Let's bring this in. We not saying 325 is a bad thing. We saying you starting at 325, considering them yo.
But in all honesty, in all seriousness, I've seen a woman carry 300 pounds
And
well, or 295 and all that carry well. At the times in my life, I've been 300 pounds, and people were like, "Ain't no way you 300 pounds." I'm like, "Trust me, I'm 300 pounds." So, I was like 295, so I'm like, I'm right there at it. But I feel like it's all about the way a woman carries herself.
Amen.
And I don't even pay attention to the weight, to be honest.
Right.
You carry yourself the right way, and I mean, and it ain't even about physical appearance, but just having confidence in who you are.
Right.
I think a lot of times, big men and big women, and I can speak to this because I have been out of shape before, and I have been bigger. A lot of times we try to make ourselves, and I'm not gonna say they, I'm gonna say we try to make ourselves like the butt of the joke or the loudest person in the room, or go ahead on and make the joke against ourselves before someone else has a chance to make that joke. So, a lot of times it is one of those things that, we're tired of hearing about our weight. So we just go ahead on and address that coming into it. Like, hey, I'm going to go ahead on and address, I'm a big dude. Let me go ahead on and address that before you make the joke about it. I'm going to go ahead on and joke about it myself so I can go ahead on and get that out there. But I mean, I found women of all shapes and sizes beautiful, no matter what their size. And, like Crowley was saying, the person is who you fall for, the personality and how they carry themselves, and how that person thinks. You fall for that more so than a specific weight. Now, I would disagree with somebody specifically targeting, like if somebody had a cutoff of a weight, like, oh, I'm not talking to any woman that weighs more than 150. I think that person is flawed. Like if you have a weight limit, I disagree with that, because what if a woman says, well, I have a penis limit with you, you don't fit the inches requirement. So I feel like, it's you wouldn't want somebody to discriminate against you, or, oh, you got this type of hairstyle, I'm gonna discriminate against you, or you don't make enough money. So, and women do have their preferences and men do too. But I would just disagree with a man having a preference or a cutoff limit, like, oh, she got to be this light skin, she has to be this weight before I consider dating her. I disagree with that. I think you should just get a person on a person by person basis.
That's fair. And I'm about to go to you, Skit. So we got skinny chicks, and we know what skinny is. We know what thick is.
Hold on, we can get Corey.
Where was most of 325 at, Jay Ward?
Ass, thighs, all
what was
that.
325
Be quiet. Ass, thighs, all that.
Heard him.
You know what Mississippi thick is.
It was in the right place.
BBW is. So, Corey, we know you engaged. We know you about to get married. Praises to you, So I don't contribute to this topic.
No, I'm going to talk a little low because she probably in the next room eavesdropping on my motherfucker.
But we know what you don't have a choice.
Listen,
you can't really say
before anybody that know me know that I've always liked the thick woman. Period.
We know.
Like if you go back from knowing Corey at Jackson State to knowing Corey at Hines AHS to knowing Corey at Hines Community College, you already know what Corey Brown likes. So I've dated like both, different, but as far as like serious relationships, there I've always preferred a big woman. Always.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
That's my preference. That's what I was.
Because of the yams.
The yams.
Nigga, what?
Come on, man. Y'all hold on. I'm gonna stand up for my skinny women too. Now, y'all just ain't gonna show all the big women love, bruh. Hey,
I'm not saying nothing.
Any women that I've experienced,
they there, but they not here. They here.
You talking about the size area and shit. You talking about size and shit.
They here. It's a difference.
Let's step away from the misogyny.
Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. Like
you said that.
All right. Say that one more time.
Man, I like the curves, the curves I've always loved. The natural hair, the nose ring, this, that.
Oh, that's a different topic.
We're gonna wrap it up with this one. It's not anything wrong with a man preferring
nothing wrong with your preference.
Whether it be skinny chicks, thick chicks, BBW, as long as it's a solid reason, you're not discriminating against anybody. If you prefer what you prefer, then you prefer. I don't think there is anything wrong with saying I like this type of person. That's what I want to be with for the rest of my life. Because it's your life. You got to live your life the best way you can. Period.
Love yourself and they will love you for who you are.
Yeah, as long as you're not being disrespectful and saying I'm not talking to you because you're 300, 400 pounds or you 115. I don't think it's anything wrong with preferring what you prefer, being respectful. Hey, whatever it is. But
make sure
that's for men and women, though.
Huh?
That's for men and women.
Yeah, that's men and women. Just make sure there's a black man or a black woman. And like my boy, what's his name? Oh, I can't think of his name. Dr. Umar said, this is for black men. There's no white women or white men on this live. This is for blacks. And I'm joking. But prefer what you prefer.
Get live took down.
Don't.
Hey, I remember. Hey, my grandma used to say, if she can't use your comb, don't bring her home.
My mama said, don't bring a white woman home. She said, if you got a white woman and you want to come home for Thanksgiving, you better cook at home. So with that being said,
can you answer my question about the thumbprint in the comments? I'm confused as to what that means.
We're not even
answer my comment in the.
We're not even
in the comments.
That is an offline comment.
In the comments,
can you type it? Yeah, type it in the comments. I'm trying to see what that means.
That is an offline
conversation. Moving on to the next topic, and we're gonna bring in T for Skip. Like Crow said, your mama and your grandma said, if she can't use our comb, don't bring her home. My mama said, I really asked mama. I said, Mama, I got this white chick for I got this white chick. I want to bring her home for Thanksgiving. He said, well, you better teach her how to cook. And then we look at social media. Black women are praised and you get all the likes and all the praise for dating these white men, all these pictures, and you see it. But so is a black man dating a white woman. You don't see that same representation.
First of all, they don't care.
Hold on, I ain't started yet. So with that,
you know, he an international lover for the first time. He premature ejaculating and shit.
Right. But with that being said, what does interracial dating look like? Why are there so many discrepancies between black men dating white women and white men dating black women in 2020? What does interracial dating like? Is it frowned upon? Do y'all welcome it? Do y'all like it? Would y'all see yourself dating a white? Well, not you, Corey and Jay Ward and T. But in a hypothetical situation, is what if you weren't dating? Could you see yourself dating a white woman in 2020?
Well, they can speak on the past if they have, you know what I'm saying?
And why does it have to be white? It could be Asian.
And I was just about to say that, Jay Ward. I got you.
That's fair. Interracial dating period as a whole.
Right. So for me, All right, I got you, Swill. I
Go
get
ahead.
what you were saying. So for me, when it comes to interracial dating, yeah, my grandmother or the elders in my family said never, date outside your race or what have you. Change the condom. So
Go ahead, T. Go ahead, Crow. I mean,
okay, I was hearing that feedback.
yeah, I heard it.
Okay. So with that being said, I've had the opportunity to date outside of my race, from white women to the Latino community to purebred African, those from I can't think of what country she was from, but she was from Africa. I had the opportunity to date a young lady from Belize. Um, so you, for me, when you date outside your race, you get a chance to learn someone else's culture. You get to, get to explore something you don't know. Get outside of your comfort zone. Now, at the end of the day, will I marry somebody outside of my race? As me speaking from my heart, I don't see myself doing it. I love my black queens. I can't, let them go, can't stray away from them. And, some may say, that's by fault, but, I love them at the end of the day. I'm not going to stray away. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to that's home at the end of the day. And I'm going to take care of home unless God just got something else for me. But it's my black queens all day long. But I did step out there just to see what the world had to offer.
Okay, that's fair. That's a fair point. I don't think there's anything wrong with seeing what other people have to offer and broadening your knowledge base on other ethnicities and other cultures. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Who Jay Ward, talk to me. Have you ever dated someone outside your race, whether it be Latino, Asian, white?
Absolutely.
Talk to me. How was it?
Absolutely. And I think just like Crow was saying, to experience a different culture. My standpoint is this: for a person of color to discriminate against their own culture by saying I only date other races, I think is just bullshit. There's nothing wrong with just meeting someone and falling in love. But if you say that I will not date my own culture because black women don't do this, this, and this, and this, you lost, in my opinion. So if you only exclusively date other races because you are demeaning your own race, I just can't rock with that.
Jay,
But
well,
if you
ask
just
your
happen
question
to
real
meet
fast for
somebody
that.
and fall in love with somebody of a different culture, then I think no, there's no problem with that because you weren't even trying to do that. But if you just feel like, oh, I only can date Latino women because they have what I'm looking for, then I think you may be a bit misguided. But if you just happen to fall in love with who you fall in love with, then you just fell in love with who you fell in love with. I don't think it has anything to do with
Jay Ward.
a
All
particular
right.
skin
So
color.
let me ask you this question real
Yes,
fast.
sir.
You said a lot of people kind of have a preference per se in choosing why they want to be with somebody. A lot of our black women say that I choose to date outside of the race because a black man is not a man per se, or his credit is not good, or all of you guys are, in prison and the ones who are there taken. So going back to what you were saying, that's the reason some of them say they date. Do you feel like that's an okay reason or a good reason too?
Honestly, no. I think it's bull. I think it's a cop out. I think it's all about falling for the wrong people. Like when you said the word dating, which may be a topic that we need to address later. What is dating? Are you just smashing? Or are you dating? Or are you really looking towards building a relationship? Those are different things. But are you looking to when you say you're dating someone of the other race? Where are you picking these people from? So if you know that you are unequally yoked with someone, you can't expect for them to be husband material when you're just dating them because you're physically attracted to them and you think that they would be good in bed. You can't judge the whole race of people, which goes back to what we were saying about black creators and discrimination. Is just that you can't judge every black man off your baby daddy. And I know that sounds stereotypical,
But
but a lot of times it is.
I'm gonna step in and ask this question. I see T campaign. Well, T said, "What about the men that talk down on the black women when they say that they date white women. Michael said his wife is Filipina. Can't say I wouldn't date her outside my race again, but I damn sure won't marry another race again. And then you see what if you look at these videos from the draft, you see some of these black and college players dating white women. Like it's rampant. So
That's
Well,
because that's the environment.
I'll let each step in, bro, because he ain't talking this topic yet. So go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The college football players, the NFL players, that's their environment, right? Because the high schools that they go to and the colleges that they go to are what? Predominantly white, right? So they're going to be exposed to more so of the white cultures, the white cheerleaders, the white band geeks, the white frat girls, all of that. That's what they're going to be exposed to because the football programs there are so huge, right? I guarantee you 100%, if these were average Joe black men, nobody would give a fuck about their opinion on white women. Let's say, for instance, right? Let's take Donald Glover, right? Donald Glover said a couple years ago, right? White women treating him better because of the fact that he like anime and other nerd shit, right? So he got treated bad by black women, and that's why he dates white women, right? That is his personal preference, right? My personal self, I don't do the swirl, but I'm an advocate for people being their own individuals, right? So to me, it becomes quite the contradiction between you have a lot of black people supporting black gay movements, right, in their individualism as far as when it comes to their sexuality, but when it becomes to someone wanting to date outside of their race, there is a whole different type of stimulation. That means you self-hate yourself, or your mama don't love you all of a sudden. I find that extremely awkward and kind of hypocritical because you're so quick to accept somebody's actual sexual preference over the fact
We're
that
not
like
talking about
racial.
sexual preference.
So have you?
I'm saying though, that's how it happens.
Well, have you
It's the
faced
same
any?
thing.
Have you faced any difficulties in your relationship?
Over race?
Yeah, you're dating outside your race, correct?
No.
No, she
Nah,
black.
she black.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
She from Africa, bro.
Yeah, she
No.
African American, real Africa like.
She just
Hold
got a British
on,
accent.
hold on, wait. You're an American African American. You get what I'm saying? And she's African. So do you? Is there kind of
Race. There's
huh?
a difference between race and ethnicity. Ethnicity is based upon
And
like
culture.
where your area
I'm
is
with
from,
you.
right?
Yeah, I'm with you.
And so I'm African American, right? She's
Mm.
African, right? She just has a British accent.
But
That's
I'm
okay, that's what it was.
Y'all be role playing.
So,
Watch your mouth.
so
Watch your mouth.
well,
Watch your
so
mouth.
to piggyback off what
Don't
he
make me
said,
come to
though,
Shreveport, bro. Don't make me come to Shreveport.
be quiet, E. Go ahead, Steve.
I think it's about your environment. Just to piggyback off what he said,
I thought she was British.
it's natural to date your own race when that's all you're surrounded by. If you're an urban person, you go in these quote unquote urban, you in there with mostly people of your own race, and you don't see other races or ethnicities in your schools. Then if you go to HBCU, you get a little bit more diversity, but you can't want something that you've never seen. And so that exposure is so key, especially as a race. Like we don't travel like we should. Some people live, live, and die in the same city. They're scared to go past Ridgeland, the Clinton, or it's like, and so they're stuck with the choices that they're surrounded by. And other people travel and they meet people. As far as in 2020, interracial dating, like America, we are still the minority, and the Latino community is catching up with the majority. So if we're going to be realistic about it, our environments are changing. And, in 2020 is a lot different than back in 1980, 1950, and even those type of eras. So I think we should be open to interracial dating, and also, get with ethnicities and, make sure that we're culturally diverse as a
You
people.
saying procreate with another race or just date them?
Here we go.
Bro, You can do what you want.
No, I won't skip to answer that question.
Yeah, because
Procreate
he brought it up.
or should we date to
So
marry that race?
I mean, I see a lot of other cultures.
Right.
They do not. I see a lot of these other cultures.
Right.
They do
You brought
not
it up,
date
Skip.
outside of their culture. Like not. I mean, not even just race. Outside of their culture. Like, and they keep it seriously. Like they're stone cold about it. If they're Jewish, they only date Jewish. If they're Indian, they only date Indians. You know, and like as far as black and white, like we kind of only ones kind of flip flopping around a lot, like publicly. But like the rest of these cultures and races, they stick strictly with their culture. And I think there's an underlying thing there. I think that's a whole nother topic. I think that still boils down to a personal preference, who you're attracted to. I'm not gonna be unhappy my whole life because I haven't found a black woman that's gonna love me right or I can love right. If there's a Indian chick next door who we kick it with, who we're like, I'm just not gonna date you because you a different race or ethnicity. So, you know, I think that's a bigger question than what you asked.
I agree because like how long? Let's say for instance, black women, right? Let's say for instance, black women run through a lot of black men that they are happy with. They have, or they might even have children with, right? But they can't find that actual ultimate soulmate, right? So guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna eventually try to get outside their comfort zone, right? Which is dating outside of their race, and they're entitled to that, right? The Bill of Rights give you that. You can date whoever you want to date. There is no such thing as an obligation to whatever race that you're supposed to be catered to. It doesn't matter, bro. I'm telling you, the only reason they even like paint this small narrative is the ones that go pro in some professional sport or somebody or some rapper or whatever that has a lot of money. That's the only time when it mattered when racial relationships matter. It's when it's somebody that has some sort of status.
Now it matters in the South now, and you don't have to have no status at all. You will get
Keep
side
it
in the right county.
Okay.
Keep it 100.
All right.
How many
So I'm
people you know with a 9 to 5?
I didn't mute him. Did he just stop talking?
I just be like, oh yeah, I got this over here.
All right. I got
right.
You don't care.
You're right.
You don't care.
I'm gonna let
care about it.
Like, I'll wrap up at this point. I'm gonna go to the last question. We're gonna wrap it up. Go
I
ahead.
got 2 points to make. First, I'm going to talk about the NFL players. There has been several examples of white women putting black men in trouble.
Damn.
Yet, hold up. Yet they insist on dating white women. Hey, that's their thing. That's what they want to do. Cool. I'm not finna shit on them for making that decision, but at the same time, I don't have any sympathy for them if it goes left, i.e. Kareem Hunt. All right, moving on to me. Me personally, I value the black woman. I will only date and marry the black woman. I will only procreate with the black woman. I'm taking the good and the bad. Like I hate the logic where people think that just because a few black women do some fucked up shit, the whole race bad. There are Mexicans, there are Latinos, Asians, white women. They have trash opinions. They have trash logic. You can't just say they're strictly black women. All right, I understand that. I want chocolate children. I want children with dark skin. I want to keep my lineage going. Like that's if you whoever won to date outside their race, that's cool. I'm not knocking it, but as far as me, I only want the black woman. Period. Like one bad apple, and I came across bad apples, and in my past, that's life. That wasn't going to deter me from making a decision to continue to seek a black woman to marry. They're just me.
That's fair. And
I didn't have a bad example to date outside my. You know what I'm saying? I ain't have a.
So we date. We talking dating, or we talking?
Wrap it up. We are done with this topic at 1 hour and 20 minutes. But I am on the same page as Corey. My wife will be a black woman. The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. I love dark
black.
You don't know that. You don't know that yet.
Right on, brother. Right on.
I love them dark. I love them dark, pitch black. I love dark skinned women. But that's neither here nor there. So wrap up. Jay Ward typed in the comments, I feel that black women feel that it's such slim pickings with good black men. is why they get mad when a black man dates a white woman. But we'll say that for another day. We'll say that
Another day. Save that. That's a good last
to
comment.
wrap it up.
Yeah.
Date who you find love, because it's hard finding love in 2020, and relationships actually lasting long. Relationships don't last as long as our mothers and our grandmothers and our great grandmothers, and that's another topic of the debate. So find who make.
Bro, they get cheated on.
I'm gonna mute you. Find who makes you happy and stick with that person. Don't let society dictate who or what you should date, because it is not them spending the rest of their life with that person. It's you. If you find someone that makes you happy, stick with that person and do what you got to do and go on from there. Period. Point blank. As far as thick versus skinny, same point. That's for black men, black women, any man, any woman. If you find a preference that you like, stick with that preference, because, like I said, that's you spend the rest of your life with that person, not somebody else. Financial literacy, I think we pretty much covered that. Be patient. Don't go to these predatory loan places, and try to educate yourself as possible, and do what you got to do to make sure that your money comes in for free, in full, because they will take advantage of you and take all your money and leave you out to dry. Period. Point blank. And as far as black creatives, support our black creators. $45, $30, whatever. Give them a chance. If they don't get it right the first time, let them know that they can't learn from it, then move on. But at least give our black creators a chance when it comes to TV shows, watch the TV shows, and support them. We need to support our own, period. Because there was a day and a time where we support our own black creators and black people, black businesses, period. And it was a great time until like the Oklahoma City bombers. But
Tyler Perry can't keep making the same movie, bro.
E, you got one more time. I'm gonna mute you.
I got you coming. I'm gonna take care of that.
Jordan,
hey, are we gonna continue this talk on the comments?
Brother,
are we gonna continue this on the page?
We can't.
More to say.
In the group, E. Tyler Perry can make the same movie 50 million times, but as long as he's in black people who have not been exposed to the industry and give them opportunity,
I'm speaking from a creative.
We support Michael Jordan. He's still putting out the same shoes.
Michael Jordan put out the same
shoes.
And
say that.
The same shoes. Let's
say Jordan is putting
outrageous prices.
Jordan is fucking trash, bro.
So I muted everybody to be fair because I want you to
appreciate that. Now keep rolling.
I thought I muted. Yeah, he muted. So support our black creators. Fuck you too. Support our black creators. Period. Give them a chance, especially what's going on right now with this pandemic. We are not bringing in money right now as far as jobs. They're furloughing people. Support who you can support with your money. Period. And with that, I am going to wrap it up. Thank y'all for tuning in for episode 4. We will do episode 5 next week at around the same time. Thank you. Bring comments, bring suggestions, so on and so forth. We appreciate you for checking in with us. We're not black creators, but we are trying to bring support to our black people, period, and bring these topics to the forefront. Not talking about the same thing every other day that other people on social media talk about. So once again, thank you. Good night and be safe.